Alrighty, so the warmer weather has got a lot of us itching to get out on the water. What if I told you there is a sport where you can surf and kayak?
Yeah, it's called paddleboarding, and as Delmarva Life's Cleo Green shows us, there's probably more you can do on the board than you ever imagined.
People are standing up and paddling all over Delmarva. It's happening on oceans, on rivers, and on bays.
Paddleboarding is the fastest growing water sport in the world right now. The growth has just been explosive, and we're really excited to be a part of it.
George and Janice Markopoulos are the proud owners of Delmarva Board Sports in Fenwick and Rehoboth. George says he and his wife tapped into the sport about 4 years ago. Some say it's the closest you can come to walking on water, so I had to find out for myself what it's all about.
Paddleboarding, it's a large surfboard. They tend to be 10 to 12 to 13 feet long, very stable, very wide. And you basically stand up on the board and using your core and your upper body and your entire body get a fabulous workout paddleboarding, standing up.
George says stand-up paddleboarding is easy to learn. Whatever your age, gender, or experience, just give it a go.
Paddleboarding is accessible to anybody here. And the Delmarva is a great place to do it because there's so many venues, so many bodies of water. It's not just for the ocean, it's for the bays, the ponds, the rivers, the canals. There are so many of those all up and down Sussex and Kent. But family friendly, and because of that, because it's easy, 90% of what we do is not in the ocean, it's in the bay, in the ponds. And for that reason, it's perfect for families, for kids. You don't need to be fit. You don't need to be an athlete, a well-fit athlete to learn paddleboarding. We get all shapes and sizes. It's quite easy. The learning curve is 10 minutes.
George says while you don't have to wear any special shoes or suits to paddleboard, you are required to wear this, a personal flotation device.
So the first thing we need to do is get your PFD on, okay?
Okay.
So we've got these really nifty waist packs. Paddleboards are ruled by the same rules as kayaks and boats. You need to have a personal flotation device on board when you're on a paddleboard, and they're strictly enforcing that law in Delaware and Maryland. That's the right paddle? All right, good. That's the right length for you.
George and his team of trainers offer basic lessons to help people like me learn. Step 1, learn to stand on the board in the sand. George gave me step-by-step instructions to help me stand up on the board and get moving. I know how to swim, but I must admit I was afraid of losing my balance and falling in the water.
90% of what we do is on the bay or in a very shallow venue, protected. There's nothing, there's no sea monster, there's no fish that can hurt you. Where we do all of our activities are on back bays, where it's knee deep, waist deep at best. So there's nothing that can hurt you. Our instructors are there with you on our guided excursions. What sets us apart is we give our people lessons and take them out on the water, spend time with them.
That's it, beautiful.
It took me a while to get the hang of the paddle movements, but I absolutely loved the board.
SUP is an acronym for stand-up paddle, SUP. So when you the vernacular in the sport, if you say, what kind of SUP do you have? SUP stands for stand-up paddle. Different boards for different purposes. I mean, the bigger the person, generally speaking, the bigger the board. So you've got all different sizes and shapes of people, so you've got different size, lengths, and widths, and volume for each board. Beyond that, there are different niches for a board. You can get what we call an all-round board, or you can get more of a racing board. So there's two general classes of paddleboards, and we call those all-rounds, and then touring or racing boards.
George says once you find the right board, there are so many different things you can do on it for fun that you can't on other crafts. From fishing to fitness, there's a variety of exciting niches to enjoy while on the water.
What we've really been doing well with here are the fishing paddleboards. Boards that strap coolers down to them. I mean, paddleboarding is not just for the young kids that you may think of stereotypically surfing or at the beach. Good old boys from Milton and Frankfurt and Magnolia are coming in here and asking about what this SUP thing is, and they're getting fishing paddleboards. Or we have yoga classes. The boards are anchored. We do this in a pond. It's not in the ocean where it's all crazy. It's very protected. It's very calm. And we do centered poses.
And if you're looking for something out of the ordinary, there is Night SUP for more experienced paddleboarders.
We're the only ones on Delmarva that do Night SUP. We brought it here. It's a pretty unique experience, and highly recommend you come out and try it. We'll go in the back bays and the canals. You'll see fish that come to the lights. It's pretty cool.
But no matter what time of the day you try it, George and Janice say stand-up paddleboarding is an adventure that you need to experience at least once.
Our goal is to transform lives through paddleboarding. As I said, it's transformative to become a paddleboarder. I'm telling you, when people come off the water, I've seen them deer in the headlights so stoked that they're transformed.
What'd you think?
I loved it.
Yeah?
It was amazing.
You did great.
We have got to try that.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I think even a big old fat guy like me could do that. Well, one of our lucky viewers is going to get to try it. William Briner of Millsboro is today's winner in our Delmarva Life Summer Countdown giveaway. You have won a stand-up paddleboarding sunset adventure from Delmarva Board Sport Adventures in Rehoboth Beach.
And if you want to learn more about Delmarva Board Sport Adventures in Rehoboth and Fenwick, go to delmarvalife.com and click on the show tab.
All righty, now that we've worked up that appetite, think bacon. Up next, a bacon recipe with a sweet twist. You're going to want to stick around to see what it is.
Plus, it promises you'll be making stuffed burgers like a pro, so we put the stuffs to the test. And since hot dogs are probably on the menu Memorial Day, we test the dog dicer to see if you can easily make bite-sized portions for the kids. Delmarva Life, we'll be right back.